Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. It's me again, Jen. Hello. And it is Tuesday. It is the 6th of October, and we are reading from the Patch Tarot deck, which is a tarot deck that's produced by Spirit Science, and they have some really neat videos on their YouTube channel. And we are, I think this is like the third or fourth card that we're drawing. I don't remember. Anyway, without further ado, let's see which card we've got for today. All right, well, I think we just proved that the color of the patch characters does not necessarily denote a certain symbology and color of the element involved in that suit, because we got another sword today. It is the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords is little character is blue instead of being yellow. So Eight of Swords is a card of kind of that confusion of the mind, the inability to kind of focus and be present in the moment. This is super interesting because up at the top we have the word confusion on one side, and inverted we have the word frustration. Yes, frustration. So either way, this card is not a super positive card. There are several cards in the tarot deck that are like that are either they're always going to be kind of negative, or on the other side of it, there are cards that are always kind of positive. So this one is kind of a not so great card either way you turn it. I love that in this one, the swords are again very much of the mind. We have two swords that are real, only two that are real, and the rest are kind of in illusions. I don't know how easy that is to see, but they're kind of illusions, and they're clearly like messing with his head. He's got his hands on the side of his head, and he's going, oh my gosh, what is going on? What is happening? And his mind is clearly kind of at unrest. So confusion, frustration, all of those things are happening. The Eight of Swords also is flanked on the bottom here by Jupiter and Gemini. And I really like that it's Gemini, because Gemini is sort of that duality astrology symbol. It is the twins. That much I do know. And Geminis, I don't know, I've known a few Geminis. They're usually kind of a duality in of themselves, sort of two personalities in there. But in this case, I think it's more the symbolic duality of the twins. So you've got the light and the dark, the shadow self, and the self that is seen in the everyday. So all of these things are kind of wrapped up in the meaning of Gemini and in the meaning of this card. So the other thing is it's got Jupiter, and I don't know a whole lot, again, about the astrology side of things and planet side of things. So if anybody has any information or insight on that, always open to suggestions. But my feeling on it is this is kind of a big energy sort of thing. Jupiter is not small energy. It's very big energy. So we've got a lot of mental energy, a lot of duality, a lot of struggle in this card. Eights are kind of typically a struggle card number. Not so much that there's unrest, but there's always kind of a leveling up. So we know that fours are going to be kind of a stability, a stabilizing. And then eights are that next level of stability, but there's been some shakeup in order to get there. So usually they're kind of chaotic, they're kind of a little bit wild. Some of the similarities with this card and the typical, more traditional Eight of Swords is we do have the swords represented kind of encircling the character. The character is blindfolded, and the character is kind of on a seashore or kind of in the deltas of a lake kind of thing. So what I like about this is it's sort of, I like the water representation, even though swords is an air thing. But I like the water representation because you know it has to do with emotions and that kind of side of things rather than just intellectual frustration. There's emotional frustration as well. And the emotional frustration is shown in the, you know that a big wave or high tide has kind of gone away, And now you're left with the dregs of this emotion, whatever it sort of left you with, whatever that sort of, that heaving sort of feeling after you've cried really hard. I know we've all done that at least once in our lives, when you cry really, really hard, and it's sort of, there's a release, but also there's still sort of that exhaustion from it. And that little trickle of emotion is left where you're not really sure. Are you done crying? Are you done mourning? Or is there still more to come? And you can't really, you're just exhausted from it. And that's kind of the feeling that I get when I see the waters in this one. And usually, yes, they're on a shoreline and there's a little bit of water left on the sands on the shore. And that's the biggest feeling I get from this card, is that it is very much about that that eddying of emotions, that ebbing of emotions. And once you kind of clear that away and know that everything is going to be okay and everything's going to be fine, and you just got to unblindfold yourself, open your eyes, see things for what they are, and go, okay, it's time to move on. It's time to see the change. It's time to see what is new. What can I grow out of this? So all of those things are wrapped up kind of in that, oh, look, there's water there. And it's not just any water. It's the water from tide being drawn out of massive emotions. So if you think about water is typically indicative of emotions, a big tidal wave is going to be a big tidal wave of emotions. This last little bit of it is that last little bit of emotion. What am I really feeling? I'm just kind of lost and confused and frustrated, and I don't know what to do yet. But if you just open your eyes, you'll see a way out. You'll see a way to the other side of things. So I really like this card. It is very bright still, even though it's a frustration card. I do love that the swords are kind of prodding him in the head. And in fact, the swords are kind of all crooked. I know it's really hard to see in the video, but I will take a picture of it. And in the picture, you'll see they're kind of crooked. They're kind of like almost bent from bludgeoning him so hard with the frustration and confusion. So that's really interesting to me, is that really he's almost too strong for these swords, and yet he doesn't realize it yet. He just doesn't see it. But that's okay. Again, it's a little bit of a bummer that the images of the card are not like all the patches are yellow because we're in swords. But in a way, I kind of get the emotion from this too, is that he's kind of purple, he's kind of depressed, he's kind of stressed out. I get that a little bit. Yes, I don't know. But at any rate, I really think that this is a good representation. And again, it's the simplicity of these cards that I think is really fantastic. So if you like these cards, check out the link in the description below. You can order them directly from the link below, and I get a little bit of affiliate kickback from it, so I always appreciate that. And otherwise, if you are interested in other crazy stuff that I do, check out the links below for my website as well as the playlist, and see all the cool stuff that I do on my YouTube channel and other places. And until next time, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!